Today, we're talking about how do you position your buyer to get their offer accepted. Hey, welcome back to the Tom Ferry Show. So let's talk about it. What's your strategy today to get your offer accepted when you're in a multiple offer situation? What do you do? What's your approach? How many, if you will, arrows in the quiver do you have to make sure that your offer stands out, looks clean, and ultimately gets the yes? Here's what I wrote down. A couple things. Obviously, we all know number one is to reach out to the selling agent. Reach out to the listing agent. And you're going to say, Tom, they're busy. They're not responding. They got 37 offers. It's a crazy home. It's going to sell very quickly. Yada, yada, yada. Here's my response. You have this phone. Hey, Tristan, Tom Ferry. I just wanted to reach out about your property on 1234 Banana Street. My buyer is fully qualified, ready to close, can close immediately. And she asked me this question. What's important to the seller? Is there something we could do for the seller that would make this deal a no-brainer? If you could let me know, I would totally appreciate it. Now, guess what? They may not respond to that, but at least you asked the question. What's important to the seller? That's the key. Now, from there, obviously, having a nice letter written about the buyer. Are they a couple? Are they single? Do they have a puppy? Whatever it is, to add some of that emotion, right? To bring that sort of right brain mentality to the seller who's looking at all of these offers and saying, well, price, 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 price. Oh, but that's just like us when we bought this house, right? Create that emotional experience with a photo. How about a video from the family or the individual to try and warm up their heart a little bit? And again, separate your offer from the competition. Now, at the end of the day, it's all about the net to the seller. If you're writing clean offers and you're thinking to myself, how can I make this a no-brainer? The agent's gonna love it. The seller has to love it. Maybe, just maybe, by offering some unique benefits to the seller, maybe it isn't just highest price. You've seen it before, a little bit off the highest price, but everything about the offer and the benefits to the seller were on point, and you get the deal. So I'm going to give you a few. Remember, state by state, country by country, province by province. You got to pay attention to all your local rules, obviously. But here's a few. You ready? What if, for example, you offer to pay the seller's taxes? Right? That's a good one. What if you offered the seller free rent back so they now can close, get the cash, and go buy their next house? That's a compelling offer. I wrote down, what if you offered to cover their moving costs, right? Paying their title fees. I wrote down, there's a bunch of things you can do. The thing you gotta be mindful of, is, list out every possible thing that's a benefit to the seller that doesn't increase the price so you can get the deal closed and funded. Does that make sense? Now, hopefully, your mind's now saying, yeah, you're right. It's not just price. I got to think about the seller. What else can we do? How do we make it a benefit for them? The last one is about positioning with your buyer. Whether it's on their initial offer and or it's in the counter situation, if you're lucky enough to be in that situation, it's called the ladder strategy. And what we're trying to do is ladder up on price your buyer to find out what is the highest they're willing to go to not lose the house. So I'm talking to Tristan and Steph. Tristan's behind the camera, and I say, okay, Tristan, you guys offered $499. They came back at $510. Are you willing to lose this house for $510,000? Well, gosh, I don't know, right? They're gonna wrestle with it, and they say, okay, we're in. Before you just say, okay, that's it, let's go, I say, okay, but let me ask you this, Tristan, what if they counter back at $515? Are you guys willing to lose this house at $515? Are you guys willing to lose this house at $520? Are you willing to lose this house at $525? Oh gosh, Tom, the payment, this, that, our emotional state. Okay, you know what you're gonna discover? Everybody has that highest possible price they'll go to. And in this uber competitive environment, we wanna make sure that your buyer understands, hey, you might have to push the envelope on price, and the only way we can get them there is baby steps. So think about it. If you're talking about a $2 million property, you're probably not talking $5,000 and $10,000 increments. If you're talking about a $175,000 property, maybe you're only talking about $2,000 or $1,000 or $2,500. But laddering up your buyer mentally to say, are you willing to lose the property at this price? How about this price? How about this price? To find out what you can do to go back to the selling agent and say, we know we can do it here, let's close. So, in summary, this is one of the biggest challenges we hear all day long on the streets, in our Facebook pages, on coaching sessions. My hope is now you're thinking just a little bit differently and a little more strategically to help your buyers ultimately win more deals. Let me know what you think. And by the way, what else are you doing in your town? What else are you throwing in, right? Put it in the comments on Facebook or YouTube or Instagram or wherever you are, and let's help everybody win at this game. All right, we'll see you soon. Remember, always your strategy matters, and now more than ever, how you write your offers is what absolutely rules.